All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. It's the School Garden Leadership Training. My name is Caitlin Gladding. I'm a food systems specialist with the University of Florida IFAS Extension and the Family Nutrition Program. Today is our first session, and we're going to be talking about purpose and community support and how we're all in this crazy garden mess together. So let's get started. So the School Garden Leadership Training is really designed for Florida school garden teachers of all levels. We're here to focus on building confidence, building your garden confidence, teaching you new ways to grow and how to become more comfortable in the garden. Also about fostering collaboration among leaders and really offering ways for you guys to connect and collaborate with one another. So we have that Facebook group that we started for you guys to be able to network. If you need help logging into there, you can let us know. And then strengthening our garden programs for long-term success. So you'll find today a lot of what we're going to be doing is learning about different ways that we can incorporate sustainability into our garden program so that they can continue to go on even after teachers move on during transition. So this is our first year of doing this virtual school garden leadership training, and we're so excited to be partnering with Florida Agriculture in the Classroom. For those of you who aren't familiar, they're a wonderful resource for school garden and schools all across Florida. They have free curriculum that is available on their website that ties into the Florida state standards, and they famously offer their school garden grants every year. So they are going to be joining in on every single session with us to kind of share their perspective as well, and we're excited to be working with them. So what is FNP? A little bit about us. So the Family Nutrition Program we're the Family Nutrition Program with the University of Florida Institute of Food and Agricultural Sciences. That's a really long name, so we go by IFAS FNP. You can call us FNP. And we provide SNAP education in Florida. So we're providing nutrition education classes all across the state in Spanish and Haitian Creole and some counties as well. Our mission is really to help limited resource families access more nutritious food, how to shop on a budget, how to adopt healthier eating and physical activity habits, all with the goal of reducing the risk of obesity and chronic disease. So like I mentioned, we primarily do that through direct nutrition education, coming into your schools and classrooms and other sites to teach you about healthy living. But we also do provide gardening support, and that's kind of what we're here to do today. So if you're learning about all the great ways to eat healthy, we want to teach you how to have those foods growing in your school or home as well. So any of you guys, we probably have some FNP gardens on the call today. If you work with us, feel free to put a thumbs up in the chat or give us a shout out. We'd love to see our schools representing, but we do a lot with schools. So obviously we're here doing education, but we also offer site visits, technical assistance, provide connection with evidence-based curriculum, and we do offer a little bit of seed money for those gardens who are getting started and meet our eligibility requirements. So if you're not working with us and you are in one of the 40 counties that we serve and meet our requirements of being 51% or more free reduced with your lunch, then you can reach out to us afterwards and we'll connect you with someone in your county who can come out and see if you qualify for our resources. Last year alone, we served 227 gardens throughout the state. So we've kind of seen it all. We work with beginner gardens all the way through those gardens that have been operating for 10 years. And so that's kind of what brought us here today, is to really extract some of those best practices to help teach you guys that long-term success so the garden programs can continue on. And next, I'm going to introduce to you Jennifer Morgenthal. She's our representative from Florida Agriculture in the Classroom, and she's going to share a little bit about the resources that they provide. Welcome, Jennifer.
Hello, everyone. Just want to make sure you guys can hear me. Okay, if you guys could let me know. Chat box, somebody give me a flag. Say thumbs up. Yay. Okay, awesome. So I am the educational specialist with Florida Ag in the Classroom, and I've been working here for about a year now, and my executive director is Becky Sponholtz. She's actually in here with us as well. But a lot of the things we have available are awesome for school gardens. We are funded by the Ag Tag. So if you guys want to know how you can support us, that is the #1 way. Buy an Ag Tag for us. The design's up here on the screen for you. It's a pretty cool little tag, but the money does go straight to creating those resources. And I love that because a lot of times people don't understand where their money goes when they buy these specialty tags. Well, you can see where your money goes with us. So all our resources are free. We do have school garden curriculum. We have 3 hardback books that we send a lot out to the state, but we have gardening for grades, gardening for nutrition, and stemming up gardening. A lot of cool lesson plans in there, just anything to do with gardening and nutrition, and there's some cool activities in the stemming up. That's a little bit of a upper level book, but there's a lot of cool activities in there. There's also resources in there as far as growing garden guides and other organizations that you can get for support, and just a lot of things like that. So those books are really awesome. We do have activity newsletters. They are grade specific as well. And we have one all about beef. We have all about agriculture. We just added all about poultry. And we have 2 other ones that are coming out that are going to be on nursery landscape industry. So those are there for you. The way we do that is you tell us how many students you have. We send one for each student so that they can actually fill out their own activity newsletter. We have agricultural themed lessons, so not just schools garden stuff, but we have tons of different curriculum on animals, on different commodities, all kinds of things like that. We do have our Ag Literacy Day program. Every year we write a book in partnership with the Florida Department of Agriculture, and last year's book was on forestry. This year's book is on ornamental horticulture, and we send, the goal is to have industry people read that to classrooms so that when students have questions, they have somebody there from the industry to answer those questions. And we do send stuff for the kids that accompany the book as well. We usually send 1 book per classroom, and then we usually send, we before have done stickers and things like that, but this year we're doing a little bit different. We're sending classrooms a plant-a-shape, something that you can put in the ground and it grows flowers. And then we are also have those accompanying activity newsletters to go with the book. So that's kind of an increase of what we normally do. So I think that's going to be really awesome. Of course, we have our grants, like she said, our very famous grants that we give out. We have school garden grants, we have teacher grants, and we have volunteer grants. And our goal every year is to be able to fund more and more programs. So that's why we definitely ask people to get the Ag Tag, because that is where that money comes from. So we try to do as many as we can. And we fund school gardens, the teacher grants fund projects that are coming, things like that. But we try to do as much as we can. And then also we do workshops. We try to do workshops in different counties across the state. We know that teachers need professional development points, so we try to do workshops that are geared towards their needs. And then we also do it for other organizations that may want to utilize our resources as well. So our contact info is on the screen. Feel free to go to faitc.org or agtag.org, and that will send you to our page. And we have a lot of new cool stuff coming, but we are here for y'all, and we try to create and put out new things as much as we can. We do have some new planting guides coming out, so just stay with us and make sure you visit our page, and you can join our list to receive our newsletter and things like that, and just be able to know when new things are coming out. So
Awesome. Thanks, Jen. Yeah, I recommend everyone check out their website, agtag.org. All of those resources are on there, and you can always find more information. All right, so I know many of us are getting very comfortable with these online platforms, but for those of you who may be unfamiliar with Zoom, just a little bit of Zoom housekeeping. The chat box is on the bottom right. It's a little chat bubble. You can also see the list of participants by clicking that participant button. There's also other ways that you can engage in the participants column by raising your hand and things like that. Because there's such a large group for today, I'm going to ask that during the main sessions, you turn off your camera and mute your microphone. We will have a couple of different breakouts, and during those breakouts, I recommend you turn them on and engage with those other folks. But for now, we're asked that you just turn those off. Thanks. And if you do have any technical difficulties, feel free to post them in the chat and we'll try and help. All right, so getting started, I just want to see a little bit about where everyone is and where everyone is growing. So if you can, in the chat, post your name, the county that you're in, and how many years that you've been gardening. Just so we can kind of get a feel for where everyone's at from around the state. We're also going to be using this information as proof of attendance for professional development credits. So if your Zoom name is like a series of numbers or letters and is not your actual name, you can try clicking those 3 dots next to your name and editing your name so that we can make sure we have your attendance verified. So let's see where we're at. Pinellas, Alachua, Orange, Dade, Lee, new to gardening, awesome. So it's 31 years. Wow, that's amazing. I bet your garden is so, we have a lot to learn from you. Very cool. 10 years, wonderful. Wow, a lot of gardening veterans in here. Very impressive. First year gardening at school, great. All right, well, thank you for sharing. And just a reminder again, we do have that Facebook group. So if you haven't joined, I'm gonna be sharing the link with you at the end. And I'd love to have you guys be able to continue to connect in between sessions. So let's get started. So today we're gonna talk about the importance of having a very important, a focused mission and vision for your school garden. Then we're going to be doing a little bit of a visioning breakout activity where you're going to actually take some time and develop a vision statement for your garden. We will have a guest speaker from a school here in Orange County, Millennia Gardens today. Ms. Chehab's going to be joining us. And then at the end, if we have time, we're going to do this creating a community partner web activity. So you can start really extracting who some of those local partners might be to you and how you can start working with them. So many of you may be asking, why is this so important? I just want to grow vegetables, or, you know, I have a hard time even keeping my green beans alive in my school garden. Why are we talking about building community partnerships? But the real emphasis of this program is to help build long-term sustainability for your programs. And the way that we're doing that is through focusing on 3 primary pillars. So the first is community connection. So you're going to find out, like, the first few sessions are really going to be building those community supports. And then curriculum integration. So that's why we have Ag in the Classroom here. And we're going to talk about how you can really bring the garden into your classroom and incorporate it into your school day. So it makes it easier for you to engage with the garden instead of it being an extra chore or something more work that you have to do. And then lastly, really harnessing your garden knowledge. So giving you confidence to go out to your garden and know what's happening in that space, when to harvest, and those will come kind of later in the series. All right, so talking a little bit about how to create a vision and why this is important. We're going to discuss a little bit about the difference between leadership and organizing. So leaders are really visionaries that create an idea that people want to follow. So this is really like a top-down leadership. And if you're a new gardener or you don't have existing community partner support, this is probably where you are in the visioning process. But what we're going to try and work towards today is more of the organizing aspect of things. So this is really harnessing the power of consensus to create a shared mission and vision, and really like fostering that bottom-up goal creation. So all about fostering a collective goal, building the community around that goal, and then how do we inspire action through that goal. And in the chat, Carlita is going to share this mission questionnaire document with you guys to kind of give you some ideas of what you can be thinking about, just some questions to start sparking your ideas. But primarily, we're going to be thinking about like the who, what, when, where, why of your garden. So how is this garden serving your community of staff, students, faculty, and school organizations, and how are they also serving your school garden? So we're going to be thinking about that reciprocal partnership as well. So if you're a new gardener, you might be asking yourself if you're a leader or an organizer. So if this is your first year doing this and you're on your own, you might just want to think about what that one primary goal is that you want to achieve this season. Do you want to just harvest one beautiful crop of eggplant, or do you want to donate it to your students to take home with you or with them? And then existing gardeners maybe be thinking about if you've transitioned from leading to organizing, and kind of what did that transition look like? If not, what's keeping you from doing so? What kind of organizational partnerships might you be needing to cultivate? And even revisiting your garden's purpose and how it changed since you started. So I know a lot of teachers start out like, oh, I just want a little grow box outside my classroom so I can have some things growing. And then very quickly things rapidly grow and they have 5 or 6 plots and they're producing quite a bit of food. So making sure you're going back and revisiting your garden purpose on an annual basis. So right now, we're going to put you guys in some breakout rooms. You're going to be in groups of about 5 or 6. Some of you will have a facilitator from our team, and some of you guys will kind of be just with other teachers. And you're going to have a mission activity. So this is basically a fillable PDF that's going to ask different questions about your garden, kind of where you're at and where you want to be. And then at the end, you're going to create a sample vision statement for your garden. So you're going to get a little pop-up that's going to invite you to join a breakout room. Once you go in there, we're going to fill out the activity, and feel free to unmute yourself and turn on your video. The activity has been uploaded into the chat, so we can go on ahead and go into these breakout rooms. All right, thanks everyone. So I hope that was helpful. I was talking with my group a little bit, just to kind of talk through some of these ideas, and just having it broken down and written on a worksheet. Whenever you go to talk to your PTA or talk to your other teachers who you want help with, having these things written out and broken down, and having this kind of vision is really going to help partners and other teachers want to buy in, because it's going to look like you have a very clear understanding of what it is that you're wanting to do and how you want to accomplish that. So like I said, these are going to be in the Google Drive, so you can access them later. All right, so next I'm going to introduce Miss Dawn Chehab. She is a teacher at Millennia Gardens Elementary here in Orange County, Florida. She's been running the Eco Club for about 4 years, and they are doing wonderful things with their students, with their partners, and really with Ag in the Classroom as well. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so she can bring up her presentation and share a little bit about her program with us. Awesome.
All right, so my name is Dawn Chehab. I work at Millennia Gardens here in Orlando. And basically what I want to talk to you guys about is growing partnerships and what your vision will look like. So I started Eco Club back in 2016. And Eco Club is basically a club that's for students that's after school, where the club focuses on sustainability and things like that. So originally we got started in 2015 at our previous school, but opened Eco Club in 2016. Our garden was started because we were interested in showing students how, if they grew items, they would be more likely to eat the items, especially because our waste in our cafeteria was astronomical. And we saw that the kids just weren't even trying anything. So we set out to make it our mission to teach children how to have healthy habits through sustainability and the garden. And when I say we, that's me and a partner teacher. From there, our vision was to change the way that students interacted with food and related to food, because we're Title I and our kids would rather have McDonald's and go to the junk food section than eat the fruits and vegetables. But what we saw after we were gardening for the year was that students in general would eat more of the fruits and vegetables that they grew, even if they weren't the ones growing it. So if they grew it, green peppers in the garden, and then they saw it in the cafeteria for lunch, they were more willing to try it because they knew how it came about. But the focus that I want to talk to you guys about is growing partnerships. And your partnerships are going to be a couple different types of partnerships. For us, we have partnerships that are just people that want to come in to talk to our kids and our organization. And then we also have people that want to do things for us. And what I mean by that is they want to partner with us because they want to show us a technique of gardening, or we have SeaWorld, which is one of our main partners. We have IFAS, which is one of our main partners. Florida Agriculture in the Classroom, things like that, that they could offer us something, but that something doesn't always have to be monetary. So the first thing that you want to do after you come up with your mission statement and your vision is you want to determine what are your goals and objectives that you want to see succeed this school year, and make that only a few. Don't try to go really broad with that. From that, you want to make a list of your potential partners, and don't just think about money. Think outside of the box. Because what can happen is you may how to garden different types of fruit trees or things like that. But that partner, once they come to talk to you, you want to identify when you're looking on the road coming to help you with your garden. You want to make sure your visions are aligning. That way they're more inclined to work with you and more inclined to help you. Then you're going to reach. So just because, you may have, a partner that's dealing with, we have one of our partners it deals with used tires. And you would think that that's not a very good partner to have, or that doesn't even make any sense because we do a lot of gardening. But starting off, you're right. That's not a partner that I wanted right away. Actually became our planters. So that's how you can kind of push partners together to match it up in unconventional ways. So you want to send a letter, make sure your letter is going on your school letterhead or your company letterhead, and you want to explain, here's what you're doing and here's your needs. And then you want to, is that better? Can you hear me better?
Yes, it's just cutting in and out a little bit.
Yeah, we're storming really bad here. Are you guys?
Okay.
So you're going to want to keep your partners happy by thanking them with social media. And we call those partner relationships reciprocal relationships. And those partner relationships are not always going to be, like I said, money and hand in hand. What you're going to do is you're going to thank them in any way that you could. It could be just simply their organization is posting something and you repost that and put a little blurb with it, just to get their message or their voice out there. For us, what we do is at the end of the school year, we send out reports on how well our children have improved to every partner organization that we deal with. And you would be surprised at how many teachers and organizations don't do that. And they don't know if their impact is actually, if you're making an impact or not, because they don't have any data. And companies and partners love data because that's their way to brag on you and brag on what they have done. We also do luncheons at the end of the year for all of our partners, and we try to give them specialized gifts. And what I mean by a specialized gift, I'm not talking about I'm going to go buy them something that's $100. Some stuff that we do is make little memory boxes and have the kids write cards and say thank you. They all sign it. We put little trinkets in there that maybe they've helped us do throughout the year, and they put it in their office. And the reason why that is so important is because that keeps your organization in their mind throughout the whole entire year. So we don't just go talk to our partner and then visit them in May when it's time for the luncheon. Throughout the year, we send cards, we send letters, we have phone calls, they come and talk to our kids, so that our communication is always going. And even into the summer, like a lot of people, when our teachers go to school to break in the summer, we don't want to have anything to do with school, but we keep up with our partners and just find out what's going on and things like that. Your partners will lead you to other opportunities. And what I mean by that is they're going to ask you, hey, are you interested in doing this? Yes, you are. You are absolutely interested in doing it. Because the thing is, they need you just like you need them. They need you to promote them in, like I said, different types of ways. And I'll give you a very good, for instance, like I said, one of our biggest partners is SeaWorld. We grow the lettuce in our gardens out back for the manatees at their rehabilitation center. And what we do is we keep our name in their mouth so much that when they did their groundbreaking ceremony for their new offices, our students are the ones that went in and did the groundbreaking. And your biggest partners, for sure, are your admin at your school. If you don't have your admin on board, it's going to be difficult. You want to keep your admin in your back pocket, because that allows you, when your partner says something like, hey, can you come and do this thing next week with a couple kids? Yes, I can, because I know my admin will sign off on it. You have to always be at the ready for your partners. And you know, the thing is, you want to show your partners that you have a sustainable value to them by constantly doing things for them that don't really cost anything at all. Like I said, sending thank you cards. We had one partner right after the Parkland incident happened down south. We had sent a bunch of thank you cards over, and it just happened that the day after that happened, the partner got all these thank you cards on their desk. And she was so distraught, obviously, for what was going on in Parkland. When she got there, she opened it up, and there was 30 thank you cards from our kids just saying, like, we really appreciate all the impact that you're making on us. And she called me and she was like, you know what? I really needed that at that moment. And that's the kind of stuff that you want to do with your partner. Have events. Don't forget to say thank you. Take some pictures. Put pictures out there. But don't always be afraid to ask for things. When you ask for stuff, like I said, don't always take the monetary route, because you'll be surprised at the amount of stuff that your partners can offer you just through in-kind donations or oral presentations and things like that. Caitlin, is there anything else that you wanted me to touch over?
No, that you pretty much hit the nail on the head. Can you talk maybe a little bit about like the social media aspect of what you guys do and how that brings value to you and your partners?
So we have our social media we have all the social medias, and we have one person through our group. We're a partner group. Last year we were 5. This year we're up to 7 people that run our organization. And we have all the platforms for social media, including our own website. And what we do is through our website, we will do like a partner of the month where we showcase specific partners and things that they may have done for us. On our Facebook pages, we showcase things that the partners will do for us and the events that are coming up. So like this event, we would share it on our Facebook page saying like, hey, if you're interested in joining and learning about gardening, you might want to try this educators series. And we just try to follow everyone, and then always tag your partners. No matter what you're doing, you always want to tag every partner that you have, because one partner is going to see what another partner is doing, and they may have an idea that could link back to another project that you have. Partners have ideas. Partners will come to you and they'll say, hey, what do you think about this? Just always be willing to try. We had a partner that stayed with us literally for 4 years, wanting us to get bees And our county does not like that at all. It took us getting to the middle school level and bridging our program from the elementary school to the middle school level to now we do have beehives in Orange County. And that partner stayed with us the whole entire time just to make sure that that would happen. So it may take a while to come to fruition, but they'll stick with you. Just keep reiterating, things that they're doing to help you and different ways that you can showcase them.
Hey, Dawn, this is Jen from FAITC. Could you tell us who is part of your team?
So we have, you want the names specifically?
Just like, because I know it's a team of teachers that are made up of your group of teachers, and I don't want them to think that it's not other teachers at the school.
No. Okay. So originally our program was only grades 3 through 5, and we had 4 teachers that were grades 3 through 5. Our second year, we were able to go all the way down to first grade. So now our program runs first grade. Last year it was first grade to 5th grade, and there's a teacher in every grade level. And then last year was the first year that we started to bridge over to the middle school, where one of our teachers is now a middle school science and agriculture teacher, and he runs our middle school program. So when I say that we have a teacher, we literally have teachers in every single grade level that are pushing our program continuously. That doesn't mean that we all are on all day long. The little kids, which are our explorers, they are first grade, second grade. They only meet 1 day a week because we know that that's all that they can handle. Our 3 through 5, they meet 2 days a week, and our middle school meets 2 days a week. So it just depends on what you can handle, because obviously it's going to take a lot of time. So you need to have more than one person. It's definitely a team for us over here, just because it's so much work and upkeep. And we're going into year 5 over here, and we have tons of different projects. We grow more projects every year, but you cannot do it alone. It definitely is a ton of collaboration that you need at the school level.
We've got a couple more questions. I'll just go through them. First, I wanted to ask, you mentioned about the criticalness of having the administration on board. Not everyone has supportive administration. So do you have any tips of, like, if you have some of those folks in your administration who aren't supportive, how to get them on board, or how do you guys work on that?
So you have to basically show that you're a value and an asset to the school in some type of way. The best way to link your value to the school is through your standards. And I will tell you, gardening in general can be linked to every single standard in reading and math and science. If you really want to push the social studies aspect of it, what we have is a culture garden that bridges our home to school gap, because the parent, we grow things in that culture garden that are linked back to the cultures of parents want to come in, they want to work with the kids, they want to talk with the different things that are going on in their culture. We let them pick from that garden. They also are able to showcase recipes and things with those fruits and vegetables that they pick. So you got to hook your admin right away from the aspect of the standards. Also from the aspect of partners, because schools get 5-star and all those things based off of their partners. So you've got to definitely go in and make sure your admin links hand in hand with you. Even if you can only get 1 or 2 admin on board, your admin doesn't have to participate. They just have to support.
Great, thank you. Selena is asking if there's a general schedule that you keep up with when it comes to engaging with partners, and then if there's any regular events that you keep your partners invited to.
Yes, so we have our science night, our reading night, and our math night throughout the school year, and our partners are involved in those all the time. As far as scheduling, it depends on what we're doing at different times throughout the school year. And I'll give you for instance, one of the things that IFAS does for us is they teach our nutrition program. A couple years ago, they also had a cooking program that they did with our kids, and that was scheduled.
Uh-oh, oh no. It looks like we lost her.
I'm sorry about that. It just depends on what is happening at the time of what you're doing throughout your school. So we do have a calendar that we set up right away because we don't want partners to overlap one another. So we do have a calendar that we set up in the summertime, and we try to get our partners going through that calendar so that we can make sure the little kids get what they need, the 3 through 5 get what they need, and our partners do service the middle school as well. I know, Caitlin, that there was one person that had asked on there if we have basically a PR person, and yes, we do. Myself, I do most of the work with partners, and I also have a partner teacher that does a lot of business work with partners. And what I mean by that is his background is community relations, so he does a lot of stuff with that kind of stuff. Everybody has to have a role.
Great. We have time for one more. So Amy Leonard is asking, is there a critical tasks listing that might be available either today or later? I'm the only one at my school, but it's a high school and I could build that sort of thing out. Would love a starting place. And then can you share your website and social media?
Yes. So website and social media is pretty easy. It's Eco Club.
We are having some technical difficulties. I am so sorry. I'm pulling up the social media links though, so I can share them in the chat. So if she comes back, we'll have her join us. If not, I'm going to post any other questions for her and she can respond via email. I'll actually write her email. That's her email. If you guys want it, she told me she told me that you guys can reach out to her individually. She's always happy, I know, to share about her program. Let's see, and then, oops. So we were going to do this one more breakout activity to kind of have you go through this reciprocity wheel with some of your partners. We don't have time. I felt like the Q&A was a little bit more helpful for today, but again, we're going to share this afterwards and it is in the Google Drive. So it's a blank one. So you can go through with your community partners, with your team or by yourself and kind of fill this out. And that's really it for today, our first session. I just want to, our whole team really wants to say thank you, us with Ag in the Classroom. This has been a journey for us to go from in-person to switching to this virtual format. And we're so grateful that we had so many of you guys join us today. Carlita is going to post some links in the chat right now for you to follow up. So we do have a very brief 4-question survey that we'll ask you to fill out because this is the first time we are doing this virtually. We'd like to just make sure we're doing it well. Please stay in touch via the Facebook group. The password to join that is Cuban oregano. So make sure you just type that in and we'll add you in there. Yes, I will share these in the Facebook group. That's exactly what this is for. So it's for you guys to connect and share resources. The Google Drive is going to have the resources, slides, and the video recording as soon as it's available so that you can rewatch this. And please join us next week or for our next session, September 22nd, the same time. We're going to be talking about money, money, money. So grants, grant writing, how to get resources to fund your garden. All right. So if anyone does have any other questions, thank you guys for joining us and we'll see you next time.